Imagine the terror of being a teenager and knowing something is very wrong, but not knowing what it is. Then imagine being too ashamed to talk about it, too embarrassed to ask for help, because nobody ever talks about the things you were feeling.
I remember being a very young teenager and feeling very lonely and so ashamed of my feelings that I wouldn't seek help from my parents.
Rachel Scott Mignon doesn't have to imagine at all. She knows exactly what that situation is like because she lived it.
No one in my world discussed mental illness. No one talked about psychiatrists, psychologists. No one that I knew had a diagnosed mental illness. No one saw help for any kind of mental health problem, and so I just suffered quietly.
Rachel is 27 years old. Virtually all of her life, she has struggled with what she calls out-of-control moods and dark thoughts. She hid her feelings as best she could and tried very hard to show the world that she was okay. In reality, she was dealing with extreme highs and lows, hallucinations, self-harm, and suicidal ideation.
Scary, and it's lonely, and it's terrifying, and it feels like you're being tormented.
But Rachel did not give up, even though just staying alive was sometimes a struggle.
I was hospitalized at the Royal Ottawa Mental Health Centre. It was a really good experience. I was hospitalized there for 3 months. It almost feels like a second home to me now. The staff were excellent. There are all kinds of resources there. I was able to build a lot of skills and to really develop a new way of thinking. And right now I'm doing a lot better. I have a whole new set of medication and resources to help me, and I'm feeling a lot more positive about things.
You may already know Rachel Scott Mignon. You might have read her blog, heard her on the radio, or seen her on TV. If you do, that's great. It means that Rachel is achieving her goal. After she was diagnosed and able to tackle her illness head-on, Rachel decided that she did not want other children and teenagers to suffer in silence like she had done, so she decided to tell her story. Rachel became a spokesperson for the Royal Ottawa Foundation for Mental Health's You Know Who I Am campaign. She blogs openly and honestly about her experiences, in the hope that it will help all the younger versions of herself who are out there suffering.
It's a place where people can ask questions, and we tell our stories, and people can ask questions based on our discussion that we create. And it's been kind of a therapy for me. I can write about my journey, and I've written about all kinds of topics like suicide, self-harm, my hospitalization.
She has bravely opened herself up to questions on a live call-in radio show and has sat alongside mental health experts on TV and at seminars to shed light on mental illness.
I think it's important to speak out about mental illness and bipolar disorder specifically to me because when I was younger, I didn't speak out about it. I kept it inside because I was ashamed of my feelings, because I was so embarrassed. And because I kept it in for so long, now that I'm open about it, I want to be really open about it. I want to create a dialogue. I want to create an open forum for people like myself, like the younger version of myself that was so quiet about it. I work for Lululemon Athletica, and right from the beginning with my diagnosis, I was really open with my employer about the fact that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and they were right from the get-go very, very supportive. They've been really terrific through my hospitalizations, and I would really hope that other employers would follow their example.
In a letter supporting Rachel's nomination for this award, her employer wrote, "Rachel is openly passionate about her purpose in life, to demystify any stigma surrounding mental illness. Without ego or attachment, she seizes opportunities and commits to serve this goal. Rather than dwelling on any personal misfortunes, Rachel uses her experience with bipolar disease to generously assist anyone suffering from this or similar diseases. Her enthusiasm is infectious. Her open commitment enrolls all who surround her. She never fails to seize an opportunity." Rachel's story provides hope and promotes understanding. She is truly bringing mental health out of the shadows. And for that, we find her truly inspiring.
I'm Rachel Scott Mignot, and now you know who I am.